Good morning, traders. This is my morning brief for Tuesday, March 16th, 2021. Real quick here, try to get through it a lot faster than I normally do. Bonds still maintaining this down here near the lows. Going into today, we have as you can see right here, we're just hovering down here. Looks like a bear flag continuation pattern to me. I've already mentioned in a prior video that I do think there's a chance that we're going to be holding 1.7% on the 10-year. So that would mean a lot lower here in that scenario. So just keep that in mind going forward here. These are your 10 years. And so I'm just, keeping this, maybe I had to go on weekly. I can't remember. Let's see here. Is it weekly? Yeah. And basically, I'm thinking we're coming down in this area that we're on the verge of breaching into this lower distribution, in my opinion, on these bonds. So far, we had a relief rally yesterday in technology because the bonds managed to catch a bid and yields came in. I don't know if that's going to continue because we do have a 20-year auction today. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what's going to happen today. Here we go, the 20-year auction. 24 billion they say on this little thing here. Bloomberg just announced, I think it was a bigger auction, 64 billion is actually what's going to happen today. I don't know if their data could be in error, so you might want to research that. But I did hear that 64 billion possibly today on the auction on the 20-year bonds. Like I said, they had only announced 24. And so I don't know if there's an error there by Bloomberg or if there's an error on the site. I'm not for sure. Just something to keep in mind going into today's session. This could keep a bid in yields for the most part of the day, and that little reprieve we had in the Russell might be somewhat short-lived, especially in the financials. So, it's going to be really difficult to short financials, even in my opinion, for some time going forward here. Okay, as you see, we have broken out to all-time new highs on SPY. That acted as very significant resistance back on President's Day. We opened, we couldn't even run up to tag it. So this, to me, really is a very important resistance area here on SPY. So I'm keeping a very close eye on this. See if we start fading a little bit here. We're barely holding on to that upper Bollinger Band here on the 1 hour chart. I think that's what it is. Yeah, 1 hour. So basically, we're holding trend so far this morning, and we're holding the breakout. We'll see what happens as the thing goes on. So basically, go down here on paint, some things I'm looking at here going forward into Wednesday. Okay, this represents the Wednesday open interest on SPY, which expires Wednesday. And so basically going into Wednesday expiration for SPY expiration, we are slightly more on the bullish side between critical strikes. Large protections sits at 390. So right here, you got large protection for the downside risk. So a lot of options were written at this point. And then we have large option riders and option buyers as a very large open interest for this week for Wednesday on the 400 strike. And basically what's happened is a lot of the option riders did not expect us to get over 400 by Wednesday. So they wrote all these options taking in credit for their positions. So as long as they can maintain prices under 400, they get to take in all that premium on the options. So keep in mind, whenever you see these wide open interests, these tend to lean to the option riders' favor in a normalized market. The probabilities, they try to weigh the probabilities for the riding purposes, not for the option buyers. And that may not be the case. I mean, what we're seeing here is they're running it up to these strikes, these high strikes, and they're bleeding the premium down into the afternoon hours. We did the same thing yesterday. trying to bring that premium back in as much as they can. And then the option writers can get out at cheaper prices just to unleash prices above those critical strikes. So for the past few days, that's what we saw that Friday, and we saw that yesterday on the SPY expiration yesterday. I think it was the 315. Wait, it's the 395s. The 395s yesterday had a large open interest, if I remember right. So now we got the 400s going into the rest of the week here. Okay, and they are pricing in already on SPY an expected move at or above the 400 into Wednesday expiration. Okay, here's our Qs. This is the one sector has not made all-time highs yet, so you still have some untested overnight highs. We did come up in the overnight here, and we were trying to test a third overnight high level. So this has to be done during the cash session. So we have to get a bid up and tag that to consider that one taken care of. I had mentioned yesterday's video. I thought we'd be taking out some of this overnight areas. The most logical thing today, we're going to see the 324 area. So we'll see what happens. See if we get some continuation in the Qs here. Like I said, we're probably going to get a sustained bid into 2 o'clock on the whole bond issue today. So that is something to think about in today's trading. IWM still holding like a champ here. Had just a little bit of a reprieve yesterday. Nothing to write home about. So I'm not getting too overly concerned yet. We are on a 1 hour standpoint. We are wicking out on this 50 SMA, as I can say. Looks like it's rolling over. We're tightening up on the Bollinger Bands. Could this be a reversal pattern? Yeah, it could be. I don't know, but it could be. So just keep this one on watch. We've been seeing a little bit of weakness in our crew. We do have inventories. Russia came out last week saying they're boosting production starting later this month. So they may have already started boosting production. So, maybe we're going to start seeing a reprieve to the downside. This thing here is giving me a sell signal to start the session on crude oil. So just keep that in mind. We are getting an initial sell signal on crude oil on my signal indicators. And then we also had the financials. Let's see here, XLF. See, we're right here on the bottom end of, we're still within our Bollinger Band, so it's not the end of the world. But, if we start pushing out below our lower Bollinger Band, okay, that could be a little bit dangerous. But this is weak, but it's not the end of the world type of situation on our financials. It's just like still this is a valid buy the dip scenario on financials. Finally, the Dow Jones continues to surprise to the upside. My next level on the Dow Jones is the, wouldn't you know it? Any other time it wouldn't do that. 33,570 is my next level. So that's still doable this week, but it's still up considerably from here on the Dow Jones. So just keep that one on watch here. Some things happening today. 8:30 this morning, you have retail sales for month on month, likely to be good. We also have U.S. import prices. That's going to be a signal of inflationary pressures coming in. We're hearing problems in China that they're going to have to start exporting a lot of their inflation to the U.S. So really important to keep an eye on that. That is going to be a major selling point on this inflation thesis we're having in the bond market. Okay, 9:15 U.S. industrial production month on month. Housing market indexes at 10 o'clock. Okay, and at 2 o'clock we had the 20-year bond auction. So I do want to point that out. 2 o'clock, 20-year bond auction coming up today. Tomorrow we have at 7 o'clock we have mortgage applications, which I think that's going to start coming in because of the higher yields that we're hitting. Typically, at least in the short term, you start seeing mortgage applications start bleeding off as yields in a higher yield environment. But we'll see what happens on that. So 8:30 we got the housing starts, And then 10:30 tomorrow we got crude oil inventories. And then 2 o'clock tomorrow we have FOMC announcement minutes with a new rate decision. It's going to be probably a non-event. But I think the big event is today at the 2 o'clock on the 20-year bond auction. That could be the big surprise for the day. So you have to be really careful if you're trying to push tech into today, knowing that you've got a possible major news event today, okay? As far as yesterday afternoon goes, Moderna got an upgrade, mRNA. So keep that one on watch. This is one of your COVID plays. So it's moving up this morning here. So Moderna was upgraded, and then we had Lilly. There must have been some news come out. Lilly got hit yesterday. I don't know what it was, but it did get upgraded yesterday intraday. So keep that one on watch as well. They had a price target on Lilly at 225. So that's a complete. I don't know what the deal was on that. I just noticed that yesterday afternoon. They downgraded Netflix. Okay, just keep this one on watch. They upgraded Nike. Nike got a 170 price target on it, so that's a massive. So Nike looks like it's ready to break out at any moment to all-time highs, in my opinion. They had an upgrade in Micron also. I saw a lot of price action yesterday afternoon in Micron, so that one might be setting up for a breakout as well. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go through some of the others. We're getting quite a bit of option flow there yesterday. CVS, this is my first one right here. A lot of bullish flow in CVS coming into yesterday. WBA, both CVS and WBA started last week. We're breaking out on WBA going forward here. That's your Walgreens Boots. Caterpillar breaking out all-time highs. Keep this one on watch. Got bullish action. Bristol Myers. Bullish action on Bristol Myers here. It looks like a potential downtrend cross, but then breakout here on Bristol Myers. Merck. One of the guys in the room really likes Merck here. We're coming into this. This was an accumulation zone. Okay, so Merck broke out above this oversold accumulation zone. This is actually the beginning of a buy signal on Merck. Really looks positive. Pfizer. Pfizer has a downtrend, down channel there. This is the 50 SMA on the daily. We're potentially breaking back bullish on Pfizer here. Nike. Like I said, we had the Nike one, so I don't need to do it again. Kohl's had a lot of action yesterday morning, breaking out to new highs here. I'm not saying it's all-time highs, but Kohl's is really on fire here. Target. Target looks like it's preparing here. Still a little bit weak here, but so just keep this one on watch. We are right here at the midline of the F trend, so keep this one on watch. This kind of looks like a head and shoulders breakdown, and we're just back testing this head and shoulders area right here on Kohl's or on Target. So keep that one on watch. BBY. This one here, really hot here. Looks like it's heading back to all-time highs on that. And that goes right in thesis with some things I've been saying in the room. My thesis, home construction stuff, home improvement stuff is just going to be breaking out to all-time new highs. This very strong move above this one standard deviation Bollinger Band, this is primed for an all-time breakout this week on Kansas City Union. Kansas City Southern, Railroad. This one here is primed. Another one I really liked, McDonald's breaking out. Look at this, one standard deviation, epic. Just tear your head off a breakout here on McDonald's. We also had gold miners going into inflation numbers this week. So gold was catching a nice bid yesterday. I don't know what it is it's doing this morning. I haven't looked at GC yet. Let me look at GC. We'll pull that up, see what's going on. Yeah, it's just kind of flat this morning. But GOLD, that's one of the gold miners. It had a nice little bid. We could be coming up into, this is your accumulation zone way up here. Okay, so this was a breakdown level. So we got quite a bit of room here just to get back into your accumulation zone. Gold. One of the guys in the room also took Is it HL or Hecla Mining? I think HL is Hecla Mining. Helix. Yeah. HL, he took this into his longer term portfolio. Hecla Mining looks like it's breaking out. So keep this in mind. You're above 1 standard deviation on the daily. Looks like a breakout on Hecla Mining. We got GDX. You know, this is your big gold miners. We are in a downtrend. We're below that 50 SMA. So this could be a relief rally, but keep this in mind. This is the accumulation zone right here. We're coming right up into that right now. This could be a continuation, but you know, it does look constructive here for GDX going forward here. Newmont Mining. Okay, really nice pattern here on Newmont Mining. 3M was catching one heck of a bid yesterday afternoon, breaking out all-time new highs here. It is coming into my resistance on this one here, so keep that one in watch. Deere, we've been talking about that for weeks now. You know, Altria, been talking about that for all last week and this week. It's going parabolic here. AbbVie, this one here is not getting too much. That's a new one here that I was getting alerts on. You know, possible minimum on that one. eBay was a new one yesterday. I was catching an alert on. They took it up into the 50 SMA. See what happens on that. Lam Research, LRCX. This one, your semiconductors. You know, this one here looks primed for another leg higher on that one. Assuming Honeywell looks like it's breaking out. Yep. We put all-time new highs yesterday. It looks like the beginning of a much bigger move. So, you know, you're looking $10, $15. You're looking at easily 230 on a breakout move on Honeywell here. LVS was catching the scans yesterday afternoon. Looks like it's setting up for a consolidation breakout here. And that is a major. You had a gap and go into all-time highs. This one really is a strong pattern going into the rest of the week. Costco breaking out here. You know, recent highs here. We do have a breakout pattern here on Costco as well, and we have room on that one as well. So just keep that in mind. I do have some resistance around the $50 range, so you know we're probably going to be gapping into that today, in my opinion. And like I said, I did eBay. Okay, that's everything. So thanks a lot. Like the video if you like it. You know, keep that list of names. You know, write them down. You know, don't lose them and stuff. And as far as this morning goes, as far as setups, let's see here. What we got going on here? Airbnb is early on here, 5 o'clock in the morning. We got that. We do have a Baidu. I don't like, there was news out from China. They are going after the internet companies this morning. Yeah, because of they cited they were gathering people's data, and they're going to start regulating people data gathering, and you know, plus the market power which these internet companies have in China, they're going to try to bring them back down, and specifically citing Tencent, but you know, a lot of the other, like Alibaba, they love gathering data about their consumers. A lot of data which we as Americans find illegal to gather, they gather it anyway over there. So I see that China's going to come in and, in theory, crack down on that type of data gathering. So we'll see what happens on that. Like I said, like the video if you like it. Please leave comments below if you think of anything that I didn't think of, because we're all here to learn together. You can follow me, Gumby9662C, on Twitter. If you get a chance, please retweet my video. If you get a chance, please. If you want to join us in the trading room, just give me a message, either on YouTube or in Twitter, and we'll get you into the trading room for at least a day or so if you want to check things out. Thanks a lot. I'll see you later.